Hey, it's Poisson and Variance, your mathematical maestro and LaTeX linguist. And I hope everybody is having a good day. For me, an afternoon. For some of you, an evening. For some of you, maybe a morning. For some of you, nighttime. For some of you, that time in between nighttime and morning. Called, Catil's Day. I don't know. Anyways, I hope everyone's having a good day. Did I see your post in STEM? On the Discord? In STEM talk? Oh, was yours about the... Was yours the one about the Desmos graph? I glanced at that. I'm sorry, I was at work when I saw that, and so I didn't get to it. But yes, I did see it. I haven't looked closely at it though. I was like, oh, this, I'm gonna have to copy paste this into an actual tech document or like a notebook, Jupyter notebook, that sort, so that I can see it. Anyways, yeah. Hi! Holy moly, it's Poisson Variance, our mathematical maestro and LaTeX linguts. Yes, your linguts indeed. And today I'm sipping on me some fine kombucha. I like kombucha. It's extra strong. How's everybody doing though? Has everybody been doing well? Has your week been going well so far? Middle of the week? After the hump of Monday, but before the release of Friday? Someone should... I don't know. Anyways, oh! Wrong pipe. Kombucha going down the wrong pipe burns. But yeah, my week's been pretty well so far. Sorry about the late stream start. My boss dropped by and was like, hey, could you never describe things again? I know, I caught myself as I said it. I was just like, what did I just say? Yeah, so my boss stopped by and was like, hey, sorry to drop this on you. I emailed you, and then I was like, you did? I looked. For some reason, my work email has not been forwarding some of my emails to my other email, which normally it does, so I didn't realize. So I had to go and give a presentation, kind of impromptu, off the cuff. Did that. Went well. Went great. Funny enough, was also about statistics, so funny crossover there. And then I had to stop at the store afterwards and pick up some meds. But I am here now, even if late for some of you. Like before the stream started, I see someone was gonna watch, but it was midnight for them. You know what? Valid, fair. Please prioritize self-health help over anything else. Don't help other people. Discovery, thanks for the sub. I have been on a sub roll today because the stupid short I made with the, hey Fred, give me a thing with extra cheese. Give me a pizza with extra cheese. I made that short. That's the biggest short I've ever gotten. It has like 15,000 views right now, and I have no idea why. And so a ton of people have been subbing off of that, and I'm like, okay. Hey, I'm happy for it. It's very nice to see people invest in math. That makes me happy more than anything. See people interested in the field. And hey, if I can help point them in that direction, then that makes me a happy camper too. Dude, shops? Yeah, I do. That's right. I use my hard-earned income. I passed 100K this morning. I wasn't even awake when it happened, or if I wasn't even aware of it. I remember glancing at my phone, it said like 1.01 or something, and I was like, huh? Huh? Yeah, it went from, you know, getting 80 subs in a month to 80 subs literally overnight. And I'm just like, because last night I was at like 970. I don't know. I keep getting subs, and I'm just like, It's very nice. It makes me very happy. Unexpected, but hey, that means coming up we're gonna have the toothpaste puzzle stream at some point. I don't know what I'm gonna do for it. I'm probably gonna work with Kikado to make it because they were hoping to make a puzzle or something. I think they would enjoy that because our schedules are pretty mixed up, and so trying to overlay our schedules to do stuff has been difficult. Like, we've been trying to play Repo on the weekends for like 2 months, and either it's they're busy or I'm busy. It's like, oh, I'm free this weekend. I'm like, I have to go to a dinner for my dad's birthday, and then the next day I have a wrestling show. That's all day. And so we've been trying to schedule something, and so I'm gonna try and get them to work with me to make the puzzle for the toothpaste stream. But yay! I can't believe we passed 1,000 subs. Happy day, happy day. Just several thousand more hours, we can throw more money at you. I appreciate that. Financial incentive is the only real incentive to do anything you love. No, if I were doing this for money, I don't think I would be having as much fun as I have, because that's something that's really important to me. If you noticed, for like 2 or 3 weeks, there was this point where my streams were short, but they were also felt like very low energy. Like, I had an imaging project, I had like 2 or 3 satisfactory streams, and I think a Hollow Knight stream where the whole time I'm out of it. I'm just like, and I noticed that it felt like I was trying to get through it, and I kept canceling streams because it just kept feeling draining, and the shorts felt draining, and everything felt exhausting to do, until I literally sat down and reminded myself, because funny, I was studying statistics, and I was like, holy heck, I enjoy this. What? I enjoy streaming. I show up because I like to see you guys. I show up because I like to share with you guys, and I like to talk with you guys, and I like to be an anime boy on the internet. So I need to enjoy it. And guess what? Ever since I had that realization, I've been having a ton of fun. Did cavemen get out of the Stone Age without a profit incentive? They didn't, actually. We're still in the Stone Age. Anyone who's not driven by money is in fact still in caveman, is in fact a Neanderthal by definition. This is if I had become an accounting major, this is what I would be saying. Your accounting VTuber coming soon. That can be my alter ego. My alter ego that'll show up next April Fools will, instead of you'll never see Super Variable 3 ever again, but instead you'll see accountant Poisson. Ken type realization. But yeah, no, it was a great realization that I should do what I love because I love it. I shouldn't do what there's no obligation on my end to do it. This is not a job. This is a hobby. This is something I like doing. It's how I spend my free time. Making math content, like editing videos, making PowerPoints, studying, are all things I enjoy. In weird ways, they're like a video game to me. So if I get to play that game, then I have fun. And sometimes I get to play with other people. Because that's a segue. Because tomorrow at 5 p.m., I'm very excited for this. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., I will be having a collab with the one and only Syzygy the Altair. She is an astrophysics VTuber. Some of you may know of her. Big fan of hers. She's very fun, very smart, very nice. And we're going to be a stream where we kind of answer some Q&A stuff about our schooling experiences, our grad school experiences, our job hunting experiences, job opportunities and whatnot, research experiences, as well as just some more general stuff that we've been asked by some people. So if you have any questions and you're going to be there tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST, think up some questions. It can be about mouth. It can be about math. It can be about math. It can be about physics. It can be about anything kind of STEM related that we may have insight on. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. It's my first ever collab with her, and so here's hoping. Woohoo! I hope it goes good. Should solve Waterloo University problem of the week. I didn't know that was a thing. The Waterloo University problem of the week. Let's Google that. I've never heard of this. University of the week. Can it be about mouths? You could ask questions about mouths if that's what you're there for. You know what? Take it away. Oh, okay. The Waterloo University problem of the week. The Center for Education in Mathematics and Computing. Cool. Oh, and they're like organized by like different grades and stuff. That's really cool. The other thing that happened is recently, I think it's MathNet. No, not that. The problem of the missing baseball. No. Where is it? I have it saved somewhere. But there's a database full of math problems that were publicly released for, in some way, training on models, which I'm not a huge fan of, because... But you know what? Better for the models to actually know what they're doing instead of providing misinformation. So I have mixed feelings. But they have a ton of this like giant archive, 30,000, I think, problems. But yeah, and we could pull from that at some point. I think that would be a fun thing to do. I could grab Mew, I can grab Geekato, I can grab whoever. I think Mew would be really fun if I can throw statistics problems at them. Make my day. Great, googly boogly. Stream is at 2 a.m. for you? Oh, are you? Yeah, right. You're back in England. My condolences. I like that it's midnight for you now, so that's fine. Midnight's fine. 2 a.m. No. Which, to be fair, there is a difference. 2 hours difference. I feel like that's a bait. I feel like that's a bait. I feel like that's a D's nuts joke kind of bait. Poisson, I love information. If there was a Mr. Information, I would. No, Daddy, you can't say stuff like that, Daddy. You can't say stuff like that, Daddy. Yeah, 30,000 Math Olympiad questions all in one stream. Gonna be exciting. Can't say stuff like that. Oh my god. So, yeah. I think that's all there is in the way of announcements. Hydration break, sorry. I don't think I have any real follow-up. Is real, but we can make it a D's jokes. That's joking. That's what it felt like it was. That's what I felt like it as. It felt very, very suspicious. Untrustworthy. Exactly. Some might even say suspicious. Like me, 2 seconds ago. And we can input an Among Us Vine Boom in there. Is a number theory? Oh. Oh, the William Lowell Putnam Mathematical Computational is the preeminent mathematic competition for undergraduate college students in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. UK, get bent. Oh, cool. The 87th Putnam competition. No, it's undergrad. Cool. There's a few people that would probably be interested in this. I should point this out to some people. As a grad student, I sadly cannot participate, but there are undergrads I know who would probably be interested. Maybe I'll just go back for a second undergraduate degree. There you go. I'll get a comp sci undergrad while I'm getting my master's in math. It's fine. Fine. It's just bunch more money. Just a bunch more money. So today I'm so about 20 minutes in, I say I'm ready to shift gears, but it was not for a lot of high schoolers. AMC is for high school. Okay. Yeah, I imagine I don't know when people are exposed to computer programming and whatnot. My technically my first exposure was in high school to Python. That was my first programming exposure. But yeah, I don't know what's normal for people. So I feel like a lot of people don't experience programming for the first time until they're undergraduate, because I didn't really get into it until my undergraduate. Screw it, degrees for eternity becomes the single most qualified and indebted person on the planet Earth. Okay, hear me out. Say I spend the rest of my life getting degrees, getting tons and tons and tons of degrees, and then I just die before I can pay off the debt. I can, if I really want to, I can spend an eternity in education and no one can stop me. No one can stop me. Some people can probably stop me. At some point, they're probably gonna not let me. But if I hop from state to state and country to country over the course of that time, maybe I can get away with it. I just keep taking out loans from different banks and I keep just... yeah, and then I die with 8,000 degrees and a very, very knowledgeable brain. Which is not used for science because nobody knew who I was. I never actually got any papers published because that also cost money. And so I didn't have money to pay to get the papers published. But I died knowing a lot. Quite a bit. They would stop, no. Go to a different bank. Trust me, this will work. You just shift to a different bank and they won't ever ask about your credit score. They won't ask about anything. This is a flawless plan. Trust me on this. I've done it. I'm dead. I think. Probably. Regardless. It'll work. Trust me. Go do it. 10 out of 10 plan. Thank you for the idea. We're not going to stop education ever. This will prevent us from ever having to actually be gainfully employed, and instead we'll be indebtedly unemployed for the rest of our lives. Well, that's all, folks. Alright. So, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? Why does my stuff not render correctly when I do emotes? But I love that. Face blue, wide eyes, 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 face blue, wide eyes. Did I forget one? No, that was 6. Cool. Okay. So today, we're going to shift focus. Today, we will be having a very, very, emphasis on very, maybe even fairy, maybe verily, short presentation on probability, the very basics of probability, with relation to sets somewhat, but not particularly, but yeah, the basics of probability as an intro to probability, and it's very short because I made it at work. I made it at work while talking to my coworker while we were sharing stories about the times we took edibles. Alright, so... if we shift focus... You guys... Is just this gonna become my whole chat? Is my entire chat just gonna become... Sorry, turn off full screen. Is my entire chat just gonna become that face of face blue wide eyes, face blue wide eyes, face blue wide eyes, face blue wide eyes, face blue wide eyes? Made sure. That was 5 that time. Can be on the wacky tobacco. Well, it wasn't smoked. I hate the smell of it. It's too skunky. I have... Okay, face blue wide eyes, 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 face blue wide eyes. Yes, I did once, more than once, on multiple times. I have partaken in it. I have partaken in it. What are the odds? What are the odds of what? LaTeX can't handle emojis? So that actually, before I had it set up to try and do the LaTeX stuff, still haven't fixed that. I'll get to it eventually. It's on a list, but I never actually wrote it down. Let me write it down right now. I keep forgetting to do that. I have no idea why my chat specifically doesn't want to do it, but it doesn't like it. Let me, real quick, fix. I wrote fix at least once on stream. Listen, it was a Friday night, I was playing Stray, it was something. Fix LaTeX in chat. I gotta figure out why it doesn't work. I haven't gotten around to it, I am lazy. It's actually because I haven't written it down anywhere, so it didn't end up on my priority list anywhere. Oh no, guys. It is not fixed. It is not fixed. Please. Please, it is not fixed. Collabed with the guy who helped you set it up. You haven't fixed it yet. Well, to be fair, he had one of his chatters help set him up. And then he sent it to me, and then I kind of muddled it together because I wanted to keep my style. But even if I remove my style and I copy what he has verbatim, doesn't really work. So, still gotta figure that one out. I think I just figured out why it doesn't work. I figured out why it doesn't work just now. I think I just realized. If you wanted, I could right now. Trying to hold it, it's tough. So, what's happening? Let's see how shame true. See, it LaTeX shame. That's fine. So what's happening is that the chat box is a custom chat box, so it doesn't handle certain emojis well, and it doesn't handle certain extensions well. But I think I got it. So I just think I figured it out. What it is, I need to use the default chat feature and then modify it through that, and it should fix it. Oh! Hold up. Big brain move. Give me 1 second. I'm not doing this right now, but let me make a note of that. Yeah, let me make a note of that. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I think I just figured out what the problem was, and I think I just figured out how to fix it by talking about it even a little. Yeah, that's how inspiration works, because, I mean, that's actually a real-world thing. When you talk with people about the stuff, it ends up working out pretty well. It gets your brain a-chugging, gets things a-moving. Boom! Inspiration strikes. Alright, let me, use default chat box. Exactly. Talking about a problem does frequently make it easier. Yep, okay. There's a technique called rubber ducking, which I believe is similar. I've never heard of that. What is this technique? Rubber ducking. Oh, yeah. I've done that. A technique where developers explain their code line by line to an inanimate object, traditionally a rubber duck, to identify bugs and logical errors. That's really smart. Yeah, where you break it down, you're like, okay, this should be doing this should be doing this. At this point in the process, our value should be this. That technique is very useful. All right, so let's get into... I'm sure everyone viewing this already knows about probability. You see, it's what we be. Anyways, I'm gonna keep dancing, and I will bet chat's an inanimate object. Basically, yeah, pretty much. You guys aren't real. You're not real. You're not real. once I was house sitting for someone and they had security cameras, and at random points I would just stop, stare down the camera, then hit the gritty, and then walk out of the room. So today, this music is too much of a vibe. I need to switch it to something that won't distract me so much. We're gonna switch to the other Persona music, because it's chiller, so it's easier. Alright. Alright, enough delay. Today, we're talking about a sample, get it? A sample in quotation marks of probability. And it's going to be specifically in relation to the very basics. We see sets, pockets of A, and their complements B, and its complements. Smug anime people, because I made a pun, said sample, and the also smug is if anyone shows up and goes, I hate statistics, which, to each their own. That's to laugh at them. Yeah. Yeah, Pacific Northwest. Our Gen Z are still millennials. Listen, I don't use the internet. Let's get started. And today, our little feature presentation is going to be... Let me move my mouse. I want to keep my mouse around because I'm going to want to point at stuff at different points. I didn't fix it! I didn't fix it. Stop. Stop. You guys. You guys. Alright. So, today we're going to be looking at a few... How it's going to go. So, for this presentation, pretty short. It's commonly believed that pictures are better than words, which, in many cases, fair. So, instead of saying a lot of stuff, I'm going to try and show as much as I can with a visual representation. And guess what? The basics of probability can be very easily represented with Venn diagrams. Close enough? Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Looks great. So yes, if you enjoy pictures, and I find pictures to be one of the best teaching methods, I find that picture... Isn't each letter just a small image? That's enough out of you, Danny. Yes. Yes. We're gonna get all technical on this. I suppose. But the other thing is that I find, even though pictures are better than words, instead of trying to verbally explain something without image. So, verbal explanation accompanied by an image explanation, awesome. Because then you can have a verbal way of stating what you're seeing. This is not this specific. This is just how the... this presentation's gonna be... gonna be. After that, claims to be LaTeX linguistic. Can't sight read LaTeX? No, I'm sorry. I'm not that good. I can write it. Maybe that's it. If I think... I glanced at it, okay? Yes, that summation. The left and the right there. You have a fraction of x over k dotted with the fraction of n to the x over k. Okay. Anyways. I see what it should be. Oh no! That's said with extra mathematical emphasis. Face. Blue. Eyes. Wide. I don't remember what it was, but something like that. The other thing that's important to me, I think formulas are better than pictures. That's not entirely true, but I enjoy the formulaic representation. I think formulas, not necessarily strictly better than pictures, but yeah, formulas are better than explosives. Sorry, Kikado. But, hey, Kikado, though, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're having a good day. I'd prefer formulas or formulas that get the meaning across. Pictures are a great example, but I prefer a definition. That's just me. So there's going to be mainly formulas, mainly pictures, and there is going to be one word problem, because word problems are easy. I'm just kidding. People hate them, but they're good. They're useful for learning to translate information to the screen, just like a video game. Finger guns. You know these formulas? Yeah, so these are basic stats formulas, because that's what we're on about today. Easy probability. The basics of probability. Very short presentation. I wanted to point out, because again, made this at work. So this is going to be the structure. Venn diagrams, circles, bubbles, and then equations to accompany them. We good on that? We're good on that. I'm saying we are. I've decided it. Basic, I know. I have basic white girl energy. They call me horse girl invariance. I'm gonna recite the joke I used in the video. They call me Poisson invariance because I involuntarianced into being a fish. That was my favorite line in that video. Video games, I know that. Oh, things I know. That was my favorite line in that Poisson distribution video. Because it was so stupid to me. I remember writing the script and I was like, voluntarians. That's pretty good, Jay. Complexities of your mind elude mathematical understanding. You aren't basic, you're positively acidic. Oh my god, my coworker told me a joke today. So, two guys are hiking in the Grand Canyon, and they're lost. They're in the Grand Canyon, but they don't really know where in the Grand Canyon. They're like, okay, we don't know. We can see everywhere, but how do we get out of this situation? So, they're wandering through the Grand Canyon. It's getting more and more hot, and they're like, oh my god, we gotta get out of here. And then suddenly, in the sky, they see a hot air balloon. And a person looks down and sees them. Believe it or not, from this distance, they're looking at each other. The person yells down to the hot air balloon, "Do you guys need help?" The duo hiking through the Grand Canyon yells back up, "Yeah, where are we?" Well, the person's in the hot air balloon. They should be able to see. They should be able to have a good bearing on this. And the person in the hot air balloon says, "Looks like you're right there." Okay, that's useless. And one of the hikers says, "Ugh, he must be a mathematician." Because, why? Well, what he stated was true, and it was applicable to nothing. Ta-da! Bad pure math joke. My coworker's not a mathematician, by the way. He's a biologist. An environmental biologist. But he felt the need to roast me. But I'm not in pure math, so it's fine. He knows I'm in applied math. But laughing at pure mathematicians is funny. You like that joke? Yeah, Kikado, I see you as acidic. You got an acidic personality. I can feel that. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the joke. Now, let's get on to the coworkers, right? I mean, it's true. If you get a pure math degree, I was telling this to my dental hygienist yesterday. If you get a pure math degree, you're working in a university. If you want an actual job, get an applied math degree. But if you want an actual job, work in HVAC right now. or become a dental hygienist. Those are in demand. There's a reason you gotta schedule 6-7 months out in advance to actually get a teeth cleaning. I try to get them every 6 months, and it's turned into every 6 or 7 months because they get so packed full of schedules. I actually learned if that's part of why. I did not realize how competitive dental hygiene schools and programs are. One of the largest ones only accepts about 30 applicants a year, which I know is frequent for specialty, like large scale like master's programs, but it still seems low. It still seems very low. You have a lot of dentists. I envy. Funny, we have this entire plaza that's full of dentists, and yet people can't get. So we can get easy like dental work. So if I need like a crown or something, that's easier to schedule than a basic tooth cleaning, because there aren't enough hygienists. It's crazy. Haha, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. One of the questions in people have been asking questions in Z's Discord and also in on like Twitter and stuff, in our YouTube posts about they've been asking some different questions for the stream tomorrow with Z, and people are like, one of them, some of them are like, what's your favorite number? And I'm gonna fight the urge to be like, what's my favorite number? And then just go 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. What I'm actually gonna do is ask all of you what your favorite number is, and I'm expecting all of you to say something stupid. Go Global Relevant Academy. You have 2 dentists? I only have 1. 1 for each tooth. No, I actually have 1. I have a fake tooth, or I have a mostly fake tooth, by the way. I have a crown on one. Because what happened once is my brother once hit me with a kamagoye. Once hit me with a kamagoye, which is a wrestling move, and it unhinged one of my teeth. Is it 67 though? No, my favorite number is not 67, and it's not 42069 either. Oh my god. 42069 671. No, I'll if you guys show up to tomorrow's stream and anyone asks, I'll tell you what my favorite number is then. I'll have time to come up with it by then. But yeah, so my brother hit me in the mouth with a kamagoye. My tooth hooked into the skin on his knee, and so when his knee came back, it unlodged my tooth, and so I ended up having it killed the nerve. It killed the nerve, and so my nerve is still technically alive, but mostly dying. So the top of my tooth is gray, like up near the gum is gray, and I have a crown on it. It's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, but you have to redo that filling, and no one remembered you getting it. That's scary. You've been hanging out with some dentists, some secret dentists. Maybe it was the tooth fairy. Do tooth fairies do tooth fillings? I don't know. 56992717128. A cool number, but no, not my favorite. The nerve of some people. I know, the nerve of me specifically. The nerve of my tooth. I actually have a picture on my phone of what it looks like underneath the crown, because what they have to do is they have to shave the tooth so it becomes this itty bitty little tooth, and then put the fake tooth over it. So I have this. It's funny because I was like had a bunch of scruff, and I have these like 80s glasses on to block UV rays, so I look like a kind of like a futuristic cyberpunk hillbilly. It's very fun. It's a very unflattering picture of me that I love showing people. Like, hey, look at this. That's what my tooth looks like underneath the crown. Some people don't like it. Some people find it cool. No one likes it, but I like it. 1/137. Someone gets your random reference? I have no idea. What's the chance of Hikari's domain expansion? Is it 1 in 137? Let's find out. Odds of Hikari domain expansion. Oh no, his are 1 in 239, right? 22, 39. Right. I need to watch that season of JJK, the newest one, because I want to hear the song they use for his gamble. Your profile picture on Twitter was you in those sunglasses they give you after dilating your eyes. That actually sounds kind of fun. That sounds cool. I like that. The like blue ones, those are cool. $137 in physics is a constant in physics, is it? I didn't actually know that. Guess what? I'm not a physicist. That's why we got Z tomorrow. You just clean your teeth regular. I mean, yeah, I wash my teeth. Brush my teeth. I brush my teeth twice a day by like a 6-month cleaning. I really like how tooth cleaning feels. They're really nice. They're like relaxing. 256. Too perfect. That's too nice of a number. It's too nice of a number for me. I like numbers that are weirder. Like I said, I'll figure out what a favorite one is. I mean, I will tell what my favorite one is tomorrow. Yes. That. Ugh, neck ride. All right, B. Thanks for stopping by. Or Windy, however you want to go by. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Let's remember to get back on track. So we haven't actually started the presentation, but we decided how we're going to do the presentation. So let's look at the base. 8 is a Soul Eater reference. Never saw it. Oh my god, this rendered horribly. This makes me so happy. It rendered incorrectly. I love it. I love it. So this is pissing me off. Hold on a minute. Why did this render incorrectly? Did other stuff render incorrectly? No, just this one. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. There we go. Anyways. So, we have here the concept of disjoint events. You brush your teeth every time that you eat? Interesting. Yeah, here we do it twice a day. We do it in the morning, in the evening, sometimes after lunch. That's what I do sometimes. Before I like head out on a date, I do that. Yeah. So today we have, or right here we have the total probability of disjoint events. These are events that happen independent of one another and are not connected. Well, they don't necessarily have. Well, yes, they do, but they are disconnected from one another. So there's no times that A1 and A2 are overlapped. There's no A1 and A2. They're two separate events. The total, so if an event is to occur, the probability of said event happening will be non-negative. There's no way to have a negative probability of something happening in this instance. Disappointing. Go watch Soul Eater. I don't watch anime, really. I haven't watched anime in forever. I read anime. It's mostly romance anime. It's almost exclusively romance anime. Manga. It is, in fact, exclusively romance manga. But an important thing is that the summation of our set S here, this whole little box, is going to sum up to 1. Important fact. So the summation of all of these bubbles, but the summation of all these bubbles and the white in between is going to add up to 1, which is good. 1 is friendly number. We like 1. In this case, it is not the multiplicative identity. This is statistical 1, not algebraic 1. Your toothpaste is different in mine. You guys will see the toothpaste. Kikado, I gotta talk to you about. We gotta work together to make a puzzle about solving the toothpaste. We'll deal with that in due time. But so yeah, statistical 1, not topological, not algebraic. Sorry, not topological, not algebraic 1. Algebraic 1 is multiplicative identity. We're not doing that right now. And then kind of the unspoken obvious thing. If I want the values of A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and A6 there is no 7, then I would just sum up these disjoint values. Disjoint events individually, sum them up. The probability of all of them occurring is just going to be all of these individual probabilities mushed together. What we think. What we'd assume. The basics. I had like 3 different people call me Baldy Basics, and I don't know why. On my shorts. But with these disjoint events occurring, that's just to get our total probability. Relatively simple. Nothing much to it. But for the sake of it, let's do an example. Let's do an example right now. Oh my god, Mew, you stopped from your weird car interest to come and join statistics. Please stay. Do an example with us. It's just addition. Are you good at addition? I think you're good at addition. Well, let's do some addition. Everybody get out your calculators. 0.15 plus 0.15 plus 0.3 plus 0.05 plus 0.2 plus 0.05. Everybody get out your calculators. What does this add up to? No fucking... Oh, wait, no, this one correctly. I was thinking of a different one. You, stick around, come on. All right, everybody, what's the answer? What's the answer, everybody? I'm gonna drink kombucha. You guys are terrible at this. 2. Well, I just said that the maximum we can get is 1. 67. So I just said that the maximum we can get is 1. So what does this add to? .9, correct. 0.9, woo! Alright. Alright, hey. Good job, everyone. You all did it, and I... Oh my god. You're eating your nudes right now. Is always 1 or 0? No, that's a Bernoulli variable. That's a Bernoulli variable? I don't know. There's so many math words that you see written, and I have no idea how to pronounce most of them. For years, I called it Laplace. It's Laplace. But I knew it as Laplace. Anyways. Yes, that's right. If you add together the numbers, it's the sum of those numbers. I'm proud of you all. I'm proud of you all. Good job. Good job. No, it is not 0.67. Why would it be 6.7? Do the math. Bernoulli. A Bernoulli variable. I'm using that. I'm stealing that for a Bernoulli. Calc is short for calculator. I don't have a calculus on me. It's Jacobian. You say whatever you don't know a day. I was gonna correct you, he's dead. Someone else corrected me when I said Laplace, and they just stared at me. And I was like, you know, a Laplace transform? And he's like, you mean Laplace? And I'm like, maybe. What's funny is because I said Laplacian. I didn't say I didn't say Laplacian. I said Laplace or Laplacian. Laplacian. Oh, we need to make Laplace plushies. Make a Laplacian VTuber. Make them plushies. Call it the Laplacian. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Let's just do a Laplacian. Why would it have to be a VTuber? Just do a freaking triangle. Oh my God. Let's just do a triangle with little arms and legs and a little like blush on it, and then we're good. We call it the Laplacian. You say the names with a Brazilian accent and you don't care. No one can stop you. I admire it. Alright, so let's look at our next little fun fact. It probably is 50-50. It is or it isn't. Does or it doesn't. Was or it wasn't. Alright. I know, right? Laplacian. Laplacian is gold. I need to make the Laplacian. Oh, especially... Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. especially because the Laplacian is used in Poisson's equation. So I can totally make the Laplacian Poisson equation. I'm so there. I'm so there. I'm sold. I'm sold. Merch idea. Money. Let's copyright it right now. We're gonna copyright the word Laplacian. But now we want to look at joint events. Previously, we were looking at disjoint events. Events that are disconnected from one another. They don't overlap. But now, what if they do? Using the power of RGB, we have created the Venn diagram. The Venn diagram, which has overlay of multiple different places. Of Nabla. Yeah. Exactly. Little Nabla. Well, no, it'd be Nabla squared. Nabla squared is a Laplacian. Which is, the Laplacian itself is just delta. But yeah, so here we have our fun mess of joint events. Patent that is shy, exactly. And the reason this works how it does, and we can scale this up or is down to 2 or up to infinite different joint events, where we want to count the entirety of A, the entirety of B, and the entirety of C. So if we were to count those 3 entireties, we would have multiple places we overlap. We have this overlap, we have the overlap between A and C, the overlap between B and C, and the overlap between A and B, and the overlap between A, B, C. So how do we account for all this? Well, first we take our entirety of A, our entirety of B, and our entirety of C, and add them all together. Now, we get rid of the overlaps. Overlap 1, A and B. That gets double counted because we counted it when we counted A, and we counted it when we counted B. So we get rid of one of those. A and C, same thing. B and C, same thing. So now we've accounted for the double counting here, the double counting here, and the double counting here. The place that we triple counted would have been the middle. But we removed all 3 times we counted it when we removed A, B, or a piece of A, a piece of B, and a piece of C. So because of that, we have to re-add it in as the intersection of all 3. So then it's just captured that part of A, or it's captured all of A, all of B, and all of C. Your favorite operator is the projection, mainly because you do that so often. I like that. I like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you feel the need to project so much, Mew. For me, my favorite art concept's a layer mask. But I prefer doing the layer fem. Now, since that's actually something funny enough that I had trouble, or I had trouble with, and I see people having trouble with, is the reason why we're taking out these chunks and then re-adding chunks. It's because I think people fail to realize without a visual, we're overextending. We're over-adding, and then we have to pull out more, and then we pull out too much, so we have to re-add a piece. So, all of A, all of B, all of C, remove AB, remove AC, remove CB, and then re-add in the intersection of all 3 that we lost. So let's try it with an example. Here you go. Have fun with that. Now, so here I have an example. The example is not to scale because no image is ever to scale because it says 5 miles, and guess what? That's a really small picture. But we go ahead and have our probability of A is 60% or 0.6. Our probability of B is 0.45. Our probability of C is 0.55. We have our corresponding joint probabilities for the intersections. For AB, 0.25. For AC, 0.35. For BC, for BC, 0.15. And for the intersection of all of them is 0.1. we add or unadd. Let's go back. We want to add all of the whole ones. We want to subtract all of the dual intersections, and then we want to re-add the triple intersection. You could use this practice, Kakato. This is basic probability. You could use this practice. So we got that in our heads. You know what that formula looks like? All right. Boom. Technically, we haven't touched Bayes' theorem because Bayes' theorem is with conditions. And guess what? I didn't have time to make that part at work. So we do touch on conditional probability, but that's it. So let's go ahead and do some math. .6 plus 0.45 plus 0.55. That gets us to 1.6 minus 0.25 minus 0.35 minus 0.15 gets us to 0.85. Then we re-add that 0.1 from the intersection in its entirety, and that should get us to a drumroll. Mew said it, a 0.95. Yay! 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 Good job, everyone. Hey, Tyler. Yes, this is the basics of probability. 0.6 plus 0.45 plus 0.55 minus 0.25 minus 0.35 minus 0.15 plus 0.1. Yep, correct. Good job, everybody. You and Tyler running to each other is like running into your teacher at the grocery store. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Aleph. And then you guys just kind of look at each other. And then you just kind of walk by looking at the ground. Yay! Yeah, you're officially a probability guy now. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Good job. Good job. Yeah. I hope you're doing well though, Tyler. I hope your week's been good so far. Middle of the week. That nice middle part. All the fun, the fun, exhausting stuff is over, and there's still plenty fun, exhausting stuff to come. So let's go ahead and dive on into our next little bit, which is actually our last bit, because super short presentation. So who's ready for the final part? Oh my gosh. Pretty sure probability is 50-50. Happens or it doesn't. Exactly. 67 watermelons and 69 bottles of shampoo. My god, my man's in a math equation. Alright. So now, we have to look at independent versus dependent events. Now, these are important. Independent events are independent if, and only if, they follow a certain rule. It has to follow that the probability of A multiplied by the probability of B is the chance of both of them happening. Fairly simple. But that's also implied that the conditional probability is equal to probability of A itself. Which means, if that's the definition for independent, then our definition for dependent would be that they're not independent. It's one of my favorite definitions for stuff. It's like the definition of a closed set is that it's not open, or the, what is it? That the complement is open. It's such a roundabout way to define things. How do I know I'm not this? Because you're that. Okay, can I be both? Yes. like open and closed sets, you can have sets that are both open and closed, which is funny. Then, I don't know, man. Math be weird. Love when we define 2 as not 1. It's definitely not, except in the case when it is. But in this case, it's not. Exactly. That's some abstract algebra for you. Give me 1 second while I hydration break. Excuse me. So, dependence can be defined, for example, this dependent event can be defined as P is the probability of A happening such that B has already happened. So if B hasn't happened, we don't care. But if B has happened, we do care. When the definition is like, there's this, and when this is not happening, it's the other thing. Yeah, exactly. Makes me almost think of my favorite rule. Can I invite you guys to Tautology Club? It's important, though, to remember that the first rule of Tautology Club is the first rule of Tautology Club. You'll never guess what the second rule is. It's the second rule of Tautology Club. It was an independent event, but I'm deep. Additional love, no! Poor Mew. Poor Mew and his conditional love. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, that's really good though. Alright. Stepping away from Mew's love life in heavy quotation marks, sorry, yeah, right, sorry, from Moo's love life. As we said, we have defined the conditional probability as A occurring such that B has already occurred. So let's go ahead and look into that. This is where we get the multiplication rule. The multiplication rule. I know, use misery is so funny. Haha, let's all laugh at the lonely guy. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this to all of you right now. Type 1 in chat if you have a partner. Type 0 if you don't. I'm gonna make you all suffer. Yeah, one in chat if you do have a partner. A 0 if you do not have a partner. I'm calling you all out right now. Alright, so a poo's in a polycule. Or it's just third wheeling. Mew is avoiding the question. Who knew that VTuber fans are exactly what I thought they were? Now none of you can call Mew lonely. No, none of you can call Mew lonely because you're all single as well. Hold on, I need to do my little flex real quick. There you go, I added my 2 cents. Anyway. Of course not Mew. If she was imaginary, you would have just said I. Some say the average person has 5 partners. However, this data counted partners. George, with 6,000 partners, I should not have been counted. She goes to a different school. You wouldn't know her. I met her at camp, guys. Anime girls don't count. Yeah, sorry, Mew. Your VTuber Oshi doesn't count. Your VTuber Oshi. Your VTuber Oshi doesn't count. The stats VTuber is the only one with the 1. I should start doing this. Yeah, the whole reason you guys should get into math is to trust me. The baddie you pulled by being autistic. Story of my life. Listen. If you find someone on your same wavelength, one might even say your same spectrum, you guys can vibe pretty heavily. Why did that No! That's on me! That's on me! That was incredible! Oh my god! Since you're single and the VTuber you watch isn't, are you supposed to get radicalized? Oh, that's true. That's true. You're supposed to get crazy. Oh my god, that's awesome. Exactly. Don't sell yourself short, Tyler. Notification was a paid actor. I don't have money to pay actors. Poisson spitting facts. Listen, exactly. You just find someone on your same spectrum. Okay. So, back to whatever we were talking about. Back to statistically significant chaos. Starring me, a talking ad for the University of Phoenix. I have that whole script basically memorized. Like, chunks of it memorized, because I had to do so many takes. Anyways, here we have the multiplication rule. The multiplication rule is pretty freaking obvious. It's straight up just this, but now instead of A, it's A given B. And so we can rearrange it algebraically the way you'd think we'd be able to. The intersection, or A given B, is defined as the intersection divided by P of B. P of A given B is equal, or the intersection is equal to P of A given B multiplied by P of B. Not too bad. Guess what? You know how we're gonna finish today? Excuse me, I'm sorry that was so rude of me. We're gonna finish with a word problem. Alright, everyone. Will we be using independent variable t-tests? Not today. Maybe another day, but not today. Today is the very basics. The very basic of basics. How do we get to measure theory? Are we there yet? Basics. Come on, people. This is stats 107. That your math 107 or something. Come on. Come on. This is groundwork. We're laying the foundation. We can build up from there, but you can't do that until you lay the foundation. You can't build on wet cement. You can, it just goes poorly. So, making y'all do a word problem to finish up. So, a bunch of people buy a digital camera. 60% of these cameras include an extra memory card. 40% of these cameras include an extra battery. And 30% include both. If you randomly select a buyer, then what is the probability that given an extra battery was purchased, an optional memory card was purchased as well? So we got a little bit of information. We know the statistics, or the chance, or blah, blah, blah. We know the number, restart. We know the percentage that each camera was of including an extra memory card or an extra battery. So, and we know the chance of it including both. Listen, I'm not a construction worker. Okay. All right, my metaphor was bad, or my analogy was bad, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, not an English major either. But you do build on wet cement, maybe you don't. I don't know. The point is, learn the basics first. This dude. All cement and work goes poorly. That's how you get out of the buckets. Shut up. I love that. Yes, okay, you go poorly. I love it. Freaking, this one's tricky. Right, so something that we have to do. Let's go ahead and review. We want to assume that first, the probability of... So, the few things we know. The chance of buying a camera and it has an extra memory card is 60%. The chance of you buying an extra camera and it has an extra battery is 40%. And the chance of it having both is 30%. So A, extra memory, B, extra battery, intersection, both. And we want to say, if an extra battery was purchased, so we know an extra battery exists, then what's the chance that an extra memory card was purchased as well? I wrote optional, I meant to write extra. That's a little typo on my part. So let's go back to our little thing. So, if we said that B was our batteries, A was our memory card, and this was both, I want to know the chance for... You see for this company, you making sure they aren't adding to the packaging before they ship it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, it's not a great company, but hey, if it works for our math problem, it works for our math problem. That's what matters. Have a good night, Jay. Thanks for stopping by. Sleep well in the world of England. But, so if probability of a battery is B, and probability, and we're assuming that a battery has already been purchased, then that would be P of A given B. So it's straight up what we have right here. A small hummingbird, unlike the big hummingbirds. So what we would do is we would take the chance of our intersection divided by the probability of our intersection of both occurring divided by the probability of just the battery. So that would be our probability of 0.3 divided by 0.4, which gives us... What's 3 over 4? 0.75. WWE plus Cirque du Soleil. An interesting combo, but I mean, that's actually kind of what indie wrestling is, but I won't go into that right now. Listen, I love wrestling. I know a lot about wrestling, but we'll deal with that when we deal with that. I'm sure I'll do a wrestling stream at some point. If I ever get a 3D model, someone's getting pile drove it in, drive it in, well, whatever. Someone's getting hit with something. I learned nothing from the damaged tooth. But yeah, so our probability of A given B in this case is 0.75 or 75%. So if you purchase a camera that has an extra battery, there's a good chance that it already has that it has an extra memory card as well. 1 hummingbird, 2 hummingbird, 3 hummingbirds. Exactly, it's addition. Just giving us adding stuff. It's not that big of a jump. You guys, you get 3.1 hummingbirds. What did you do, Mew? What did you do? And the other things that were not touched on in this presentation that I am going to point out, which Kikado had alluded to previously. First, we have the law of total probability, which is the probability of a bunch of little pieces given... This is how we find the summation of a probability of B over a series of cross-sections. The probability of B given that A of I times the probability of A of I. Then we sum all those together, we get the probability of B. Other things, if you don't know, worth looking at. They're a great review. Some of us need that. Mew. So it would be worth looking into. And the other thing that Kikado had mentioned, rightfully so, was Bayes' theorem, which basically takes our previous definition and expands upon it, where we can find the probabilities of A of individual pieces given B. More of just a take on what we previously knew. But that was actually all that I had today. As I said, a very short presentation thrown together in a morning, covering the basics of probability through the lens of a bit of set theory. Don't touch you with those filthy probability numbers. But yeah, thank you all. Thank you all. I admire all of you through sticking through one of the most hated subjects of this. You just showed up. Is that show, Tyler? Is that so, Tyler? You just showed up? Croissant. Why does she keep calling me croissant? I need to know. I still haven't figured it out. I tweeted at her, and her response was just freaking emojis. She retweeted it and then responded with emojis, and I'm like, what does Net mean by it? What does Net mean by it? I'm not French, and I've said as much, and apparently it's not the being French name thing. Question. What's your question, Tyler? What's your question? Ooh, do I think stats are math or not? Well, no. I would say no. Because... So, okay, that's a very messy question. I would say stats are derived. Stats are derived from math. Stats are derived from math. You're completely out of her study. I brought her to you. Yeah, I don't know why you... You started this, Mew. You started this. But, I view... Want to learn how to deal with Nep? Oh, no. Alright, yeah, I have no idea. I've never interacted with her, really, so this is gonna be... I'll learn one day. If I ever do anything with her, I'll learn to interact with her. But... I view stats as a derived from math. I do not think it is a field of math. I think it's its own entire discipline. Oftentimes, I think it is put underneath the math umbrella, which is because of the fact that it is number, variable, heavy focused, and utilizes different math principles. Good luck, croissant, bro. Oh my god. You guys. But I personally do not see it as the reason you get a stats degree, which heavily features in something like applied math. But I think that it is its own thing. So to answer your question, both yes and no. Which means I probably really haven't answered your question at all. That's how we round about it. I gave you the politician answer, so. Finger guns. Yeah, you're Victor as well. She just debuted, now you don't play girl persistent in your space. I know. It's fine. I'll just... She hasn't She hasn't got me yet. I'm safe for now. I'm safe for now. I've remained safe from NEP. I don't know what's coming. Hopefully nothing's coming, and I can stay safe from NEP, but you never know. You never know. You never know. Someone might know. NEP probably knows. Maybe. I don't know. Math is stats. Stats is math voodoo, and people want small p values. You're just saying it's a bit sus. Maybe that. Maybe stats was made by insecure mathematicians. Anyways, with that, I have nothing else planned for today. You're gonna dress up as stats for Halloween. Yeah. The other day, I just sent you a picture of a stats textbook, and I was like, stats jump scare. Yeah. That's all I really had planned for today. Tomorrow I have my collab. I have my collab with Z. Please stop by. It's at 5 p.m. PST if you want. I'm very excited for it. She is very, very nice. The little bit we've interacted. Very smart. Mahjong time. Another time. Next Mahjong stream when? We'll find a time. Reach out to me, Mew. Tell me when you're free to Mahjong it up. We'll do a Mahjong chess mess. We'll figure something out. We'll do something horrible. Don't worry. We'll all have a bad time. That's the goal. That's the dream. But yeah. So that's all I had planned for today, and that's where I'm gonna call it today. Please stop by for the stream with Z tomorrow, 5 p.m. PST. Very excited. You collabed first, you're a trendsetter. Well, I took your first collab anyways, Mew, so you're not special. But I will see you all next time. Yeah, actually my first ever time I collabed was with Kikado. Anyways, I will see you all next time. I've been Poisson, very fanatical maestro and LaTeX linguist. Stop by tomorrow. Stop by Friday as well. Thank you all for watching. And bye-bye. Face blue, wide eyes, face blue, wide eyes, face blue, wide eyes.